Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. Alright. Ooh, Cancer, you have a lot of love here. Stop. Do I want this? No. Okay. Let go of these. Yes. Alright. A lot of love going on your side. You have literally 3 love cards, in my opinion. You got Two of Cups, Page of Cups, King of Cups. You have the Sun card over here. You got the Wheel of Fortune, though, too. Let's see what the Wheel of Fortune is doing to your life, though. Because I don't feel like it's bad, but something here is a problem. Now, the strongest card I'm feeling is on your partner side. It's in the challenge position, the Hermit here. Something's going on. They're seeming to be, they're very honed in on one thing. And they seem to be kind of picking it apart a little bit is what I want to say. But they're very much like, they're trying to understand something, but they're kind of picking it apart. Now, why is this affecting your relationship? I'm not sure just yet, but I'm sure it'll come forward later. Because I don't feel like they're picking you. They're not picking you apart, right? They're not picking you apart. But it seems to be something about, is it family? They're hyper-focused on something is what I'm getting. They seem to be very hyper-focused, and this seems to be causing a problem. Because I feel like they're hyper-focused on something else, and they're not really paying much attention to you. This seems to be a part of the problem. Especially the way these 2 cards, because what's in your challenge position, ironically, is the Two of Cups, which I'm kind of understanding why this is a problem. Because they're hyper-focused on something else. You want quality time with them. So this isn't matching. Like, they're not focused on you at all. They're hyper-focused on something else. And you want to focus on them. You want time with them. You want to be close to them. And they seem to be disinterested, and they feel like that's bothersome. That's not good. This seems to be causing problems. Now, which that would, I don't know, it seems kind of simple why that would cause problems to me. Like, you want to be with them, and they're very focused on something else. And I feel like one of the reasons it's a problem is because they could pay a little bit more attention to you. They're looking at all these possibilities, hyper-focusing on the same situation. They're hyper-focusing. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, they're getting right into something. I don't know if it's like I know some people are video game enthusiasts, or there's some type of hobby. Maybe it's hunting. I think it's the time of year for that here in the States where I am. I think. I'll be honest, I don't really hunt. So I don't know when. I know it's sometime this part of the year, and I think bow season is already happening. But there's something that they're hyper-focused. They're very excited about it. And it's taking their attention away from you and towards this other situation. And they're just really getting into it. With the 9 of Cups, they're like really getting into it is what I'm getting. They're really getting into it. Now, this is interesting. Because this, well, they're telling me this first. So let's go to this first. And there's a face-down card here. Your spiritual position, 9 of Wands, you're not happy about this. Based on where we just came from this, I can see why you wouldn't be. It makes sense to me, but you're kind of like having, the 9 of Wands is kind of like survival mode, a little bit panicked, like, why aren't you paying attention to me? Like, feeling very, like you really need the attention. Like you're really upset about it. You really need to be close to them. You're really upset. you know what I mean, that this isn't going the way you think it should. And they're saying choose a new direction. And this was face down, is how this came out. Like, it's choose a new direction. Because I'm feeling like you don't need to be upset, but it's based on where you're looking at the situation. Because I'm thinking, like, like if it's something where this is the time of year where they do this type of thing, it'll pass. Like if it's hunting season will pass. Now, where I live anyway, it's only allowed at certain times. But, for example, if it's like the video game thing, I don't know, I feel like even then they'll get kind of bored of what they're doing and they'll come back towards you. But I feel like that's not really where I want to go with it. Where I really want to say is, like, when it comes to love, nothing is challenging that love. It's just that they're hyper-focused on something else right now. But it's not like they love, it's not like there's no challenge to your relationship with what they're hyper-focused on, is what I'm getting. It's just, they're just kind of going that way for now. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm saying this and now I'm getting the yawns, which is telling me this is harder than I'm thinking. So is there something I'm missing? No? Okay. Because I feel like you're really unhappy with this, which makes sense. To me it makes sense. Even though I'm a Pisces and not a Cancer, but the water sign thing is where I'm feeling like when you're having those emotions for somebody and you want to be close to them and you can't seem to convince them to do the same and you're like looking at the situation like, you could take some time with me, like I just want to be with you for a while. I can understand where that would be rough because you're just having those, you just want to hug them sometimes. You just want to hug your partner. You just want to do it. You just want to be close to them. And they're hyper-focused on something else. And they're like, no, no, no. And it's kind of like, as another water sign, I can see where that could be really upsetting. It could be like, yeah, really? Like, I can see where that would be upsetting. The thing is, when it comes to this relationship, you're very secure. You know nothing's going to challenge this relationship. And I feel like that's why we're coming back to this. You know that this relationship is solid. You're very happy with it. And they're saying, like, choose a new direction. Like, realize, just live in the strength of the relationship for right now. Your partner's just not in a spot where they want to be lovey-dovey for whatever reason. They're very hyper-focused on this other thing. But it's not a challenge at all. And you know it's not a challenge at all to your relationship. But, like I said, as another water sign, I definitely understand where that, like, you're having these feelings, you just want to be close to them. It's very intense. And I feel like the more you're denied, the more you want to do it. I just feel like that's also, like, the more they kind of like, not right now, the more it just kind of builds. And you're just like, I just want to hug you. Just, maybe I'm crazy, but that's how it's starting to feel. Like, I just want to be with you. I just want to hang out with you. That's all. I just miss you. I'm feeling that. Now, I'm seeing this on your side for... and this seems to be flanking them getting hyper-focused and being all happy about what they're into. You got the Wheel of Fortune with the Page of Cups. Now, I'm getting like you're having some type of idea here. I don't know. I feel like some of you are doing something like maybe surprising your partner or like making dinner or something where you know they're going to be around and you're just doing something, and some of you might be a little cheeky about it. And I'm saying that in the sense of like, if it's just an intimate moment between you and them, you might give it a little bit of an erotic flavor is all I'm saying. I just feel like you're pulling out the stops. You're like, I'm going to get your attention. You're like, I'm going to get your attention because I know what you like. And I feel like some of you are like, you're pulling a little surprise type thing. I feel like a lot of you are putting a little bit of an erotic element to it. Like, I know what you like. I know how I get your attention. This is the wheel going in your favor because I do feel like you get their attention. I do feel like that works. Whatever you do, you kind of you get it for a little bit there. Now, this is an interesting situation because you get their attention. The Star card, like I feel like you're getting their attention. The Star card for me in this situation, I feel like that's like, this is a good moment. They're just like, oh yeah, really? Like I feel like this is like, I don't know, they're feeling very special. You're making them feel very, very special. And I'm feeling like this is a moment that's a really good fun moment. I think you know what I mean. However that falls for you, because I know relationships go different for different people, but it's definitely it's a special moment. And now the improving health with the Eight of Cups is on their side. I feel like this is a result of this moment that you're having with them, because they're kind of like they whatever it is they're involved in. See, I feel like it's good that they're involved. Whatever it is, like there's of course there's a point. There's a amount. Wow. I was trying to fight that back, but the more I fought it back, the worse it got. That's interesting. I feel like they're kind of conflicted. Okay, that's why that's okay. That's fine. They definitely like they love having time with you, and I feel like you've expressed to them how you're feeling and that you just miss them and blah blah blah. They do very much enjoy time with you, but they want to do this other thing too. They want both, and I feel like a good balance is warranted here. Improving health is I feel like they're going to try to balance it out a little better, or they're going to try to pay a little bit more attention, but it's the balancing out, because I feel like they can't help, they get really excited about whatever the situation is that's outside of you. They seem to get hyper focused on it is what I'm getting, and they get all into it and they kind of forget themselves, but it's very much a very joyful passion for them. So when I'm getting improving health with the Eight of Cups, like I feel like they're having a hard time balancing this out. They're trying to, but they're like starting to feel like, are one of these things going to suffer? If I choose one, is the other going to suffer? Like, can I not have both? They're questioning if they can actually have both, and I'm feeling they can. They just got to work out how they balance that out better. It's going to take some time, because I feel like when they get in this, dare I say, hobby or whatever they're hyper focusing on. See, I don't want to say it's hobby because for some of them, I feel like it's a work thing, and they're very career oriented. They're very hyper focused on that. That's another situation. But I feel like they're trying to balance it out and make sure that things work out. Improving health is telling me, though, that they're trying. It's going to take some time. And where they're standing is, it's weird because they have so much love for you, but they want to stick with what they have too. Like, they want both, and they're trying to work it out. I feel like in both situations, the reason they have the Queen of Pentacles is because they're very cemented with you and this other passion they have, be it work or a hobby or whatever it may be. They're very passionate and cemented into that as well. They want both, and they're trying to work it out. I'm getting this as saying they're staying with both situations. I mean, clearly they're very connected to you, but they're also not going to give up what they love. Not that you want them to, but I'm just, in case that's a thing here. I'm feeling after this moment and you get their attention, you're feeling like $1 million. You are feeling like $1 million because you knew how to get their attention and it worked. And I just feel like you're having one of those, I feel like $1 million feeling. I feel like $1 million. The thing is, this moment does pass, and I feel like they're starting to get involved, or they're back involved in the other situation. And I'm getting on their side, they have all these ideas. They're trying to kind of balance it out, but I feel like they're presented with a lot of different ways to handle it. But I don't feel like at first it doesn't seem to change. But I feel like they're realizing, like, because of the relationship with you, I don't know if this is their new relationship or if the situation they're part of, the hyper focusing, like, even if it's been around for a while, they're realizing that they have to change how they handle it, so that way you're happy and they can still do what they want. Because you being happy is important to them. It is. So I don't feel like at first you're going to see much change, because that's what the Two of Swords is telling me. But I feel like there's also, with the swords, there's a lot of thought, and they're going through, like, their possibilities. Like, what do they need to do? Should they be cutting back how much this or that, or should they be changing when they're involved with this or that? Like, I'm getting, like, one of the possibilities is, like, could you be involved with that? Another possibility is there something else they could help you get involved with, so that you have also something that you're doing when they're doing this? Like, I feel like they're trying to balance it out. Like, some of them, like, just when they do it, that type of thing. but I don't feel like you're seeing the situation change that much in the beginning, but they're telling me it is improving. It's just like your partner's like going through it, trying to figure out what do they want to do, what's what's going to work for both of you. Excuse me. It's interesting because I'm getting like these pushing feelings here and stuff. It makes me feel like, I mean, maybe this is more of a struggle than I realize. It doesn't seem like I feel very good about the relationship if this is connecting with you. I feel good about the relationship, but maybe this is more of a challenge than I'm realizing. Maybe this is a reoccurring thing. That it's just kind of like working out how to keep up with what things outside the relationship each of you love, or especially your partner, but still keeping the relationship and honoring the relationship and keeping that healthy and strong as well. It is going to get better, but I just feel like you're going to have this moment, you get their attention, you're happy with that. I just feel like it feels like at the end here it goes back in the same rut, but I'm getting like it is going to improve. It's just going to take a while for them to really like roll it out, make something different. Because I feel like they have ideas, and I feel like they might try different ways to do it. Like some of them it's different times and like maybe setting up certain days or certain times of the day where they're doing this. You know what I mean? So you know like between this time to this time this is what they're going to be doing if that's the type of person they are. For others, I feel like they're going to try to see if they can get you involved in the same thing. I feel like that's one of the things some of them are going to do. You might not want to, but it depends. I feel like they're going to try. Some of them are going to try. They're just trying to. I feel like you're going to notice they're putting out little feelers to see what you're open to because I feel like they're going to try different ways. Whoever this person is, they're going to try different ways to work this out. Good? All right, let's go on to Cancer single. Cancer single. What do we got for Cancer single? Messages for Cancer single to help them find what they want, to get the truth, and to move forward in a direction that empowers them and helps them go where they want to be in life. Yep. Okay. All right. Is that going to work out? Yeah, let's see how it goes. I shouldn't prejudge cards. Just seeing the very last card, I'm really not over the moon. Now, I noticed that last one covered that too, so let's find out where this goes. You're standing in a spot of strength. No. I'm getting like there's a couple knights on here. There's the Queen of Wands here. So I'm getting that you're an active pursuant. And I feel like you've been pursuing somebody for a while. You're strong with that. For some reason you're feeling like this is going to take some time. But it's one of those things where you feel like you have to win somebody over. And you keep trying and you keep going and you're trying to win them over. In your thoughts, you feel like so far you're succeeding, and you've gone this far. Why give up now? Might as well keep going. You'll make it. You're feeling like victory is out there somewhere. And this is like the knight from the past is the King of Wands. I feel like you've gone out with this person, and that you've been. I feel like it's kind of like a casual dating, like once in a while. It's not like going forward as fast as you would like it. But you are definitely, with the Queen of Wands, you're you're actively pursuing this. I'm going to pick this up again, too. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow mover, but that you're feeling like you're making progress here. Gone on a few dates. They're not as frequent as, you'd like, but you're continuing with the effort. You're the one pursuing. You're the one pursuing. If this reading is hitting with you, I feel like you're the one pursuing. Is that correct? Okay. Now, whoever you are as a Cancer, the Knight of Swords with the Four of Cups. I feel like you're trying to get things, you're trying to go out again, and it's not happening this time. And you're starting to feel like maybe you've been wasting your time with the Nine of Swords. The Four of Cups is kind of like you're still, I feel like you're still like, I don't feel like the other person said, I'm not going out with you again, but they seem to be like not, they're not receptive to going out again, but they're not telling you no. They're not, you're having a hard time making plans, and you're questioning like, are they just really that busy, or are they just kind of like they don't want to do it? So you're kind of feeling like maybe you've been wasting your time, but you're also like sitting here like trying to think it out. Like maybe it's just they're busy right now. Like they have a lot going on. Because I don't feel like you know this person well enough. The few dates are spread out, and I don't feel like there's enough communication to really know what's going on in their life. So there's a lot of open spots, a lot of unanswered questions. Now, I'm getting in the future you do go out again. And you're balancing out here with the Two of Pentacles. It seems like when you're balancing this out, like you're taking action, but you're feeling like, oh, this is still a possibility. You're kind of like, I feel like the farther this is going at the moment, especially since this last time seemed like it was a longer distance between seeing each other, you really start to think, maybe this person really isn't into it, but I really feel for them. And I'm like, can I really make something happen here, or are they just pacifying me? The take action is telling me like you're trying to make this work out again. Now, this is where I'm really starting to pull in with the other person. The other person really likes hanging out with you, really likes you, but I feel like they're playing the field. I feel like they haven't made a decision about who they really want, and they're kind of stalling because they're not sure who they want yet. I don't feel like you're the only person they're dating. If this is hitting, I don't feel like you're the only person they're dating. And they're not really sure who they want yet. You're trying to keep, like, the take action, like I feel like you're still pursuing this person. Now, at the end here, I feel like it's either you're aware of this, or it just seems like something isn't going your way. I'm seeing the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords. The Hierophant's first. I'm getting like this is becoming a bit of a struggle, and you're still, like, the Hierophant makes me feel like you're still going out. But at some point, you become forward, like you want to start seeing each other more exclusively, and they're shooting you down. Alright, that's the Ten of Swords. I don't feel as bad about that because Ten of Swords, while still devastation, they're not ready to make that decision. Because what's on top of it is no need to worry. But the Ten of Swords is that's devastation, so it's hard not to. I feel like you want this to go forward. You're trying to be like, let's see each other exclusively, and they're like, I don't want to do that right now. I actually feel like that's what's happening. And that's the Ten of Swords. Like that's heartbreaking for you because you want this to go forward. But I also feel like you're still still seeing each other though. But they're like, I feel like you're like, let's see each other exclusively, and they're like, I don't want to do that right now, but we can still keep dating like we are. The no need to worry is telling me this person actually is going your direction. They're just not ready to make the decision yet. They're not ready to make that decision yet. They're still I still feel like they're going through their options, and they haven't come to the spot where they're ready to make that decision. The no need to worry on top of the Ten of Swords is like, the Ten of Swords is like, you don't like what you're hearing because it feels like you're being shot down to you. The truth is, they're just not ready to make the decision yet. They're just not there yet. But it seems like you're still in the running. Let's put it that way. At the end of this, you're still in the running. Good? Good. All right, I think that's all I got for this. I'm going to wrap this up here. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.